Hello everyone, in this video I'm going over all the settings of Sea of Thieves and what I think you should use in each scenario if you're playing PvP or if you're playing casual. So let's just get right into it. So of course this is a keyboard and mouse guide. There are lots of great controller guides out there, but I won't be covering controller in this video. This is pretty standard. I use a QWERTY keyboard, WASD for moving, swimming, spacebar. This is just all basic. My auto move I have binded, but I have never ever used it before. But it might be useful in some cases, but I haven't found it. So interact, just leave it at F. Secondary interact, it depends on what you prefer. I personally found myself pressing E a lot of times when I was trying to press R, just because I was used to the secondary interact being on the E key. But if you are comfortable with using R, that is fine as well. Just put it on either E or R. So this is all pretty much the same. My pirate chat, I would just recommend putting it on the key you don't use as secondary interact, so either E or R depending on what you use. Quest radial, I haven't binded it, I just hold down Q and press space for the quest radial. So the stow or drop button is very important. This of course is automatically assigned to X, but personally I have a mouse with mouse buttons and I have put it on one of those. This is important for cancelling some animations. I will make a video on that very soon, but I won't go into that now. And for item juggling, if you don't have any mouse buttons, I would just recommend leaving it at X or any button you prefer, but just make sure it's easily accessible to you. So the cycle weapons I just put on mouse scroll wheel down. I think it is standard on up, but I found myself scrolling down when I want to cycle weapons, so I just put it on that. Weapon 1, weapon 2, I just put it on 1 and 2 because you need to access it quickly. Reload is, for what I know, only useful for the double barrel pistol. When you shot one bullet, you can just reload immediately. If you see here, I can shoot, and normally I can just like shoot again and then it automatically reloads. But with this I can just shoot one, press the reload button and it automatically reloads both of them. Alright, next up the harpoon. Well, I just have it on this. I think that is pretty standard. Maybe the harpoon reading lock is normally on R and I just put it on E. I really don't know, to be honest. Alright, the item shortcuts are really important. Bait of course is not that important. Bucket is very important. I have put it on V because it's easily accessible to me. Cannonball, I put this on G. Fishing rod can be important if you use the new crit launch method. I put it on K. It is not the most easily accessible button of course, but for me it is good enough. I put my food on X, that is of course the button you normally drop with. So if you have your drop on X, you need to put this on another button. But food is also really important and you need to be able to quickly access it. These are not that important. Throw balls is very important. If someone boards you, you want to quickly get your blunder bombs out. That is why I put it on the other mouse button I have. But of course, if you don't have it, you can put it on a different button you can quickly access. Finally, I've put wooden plank on C. This is of course another pretty important button to have. So I quickly skipped over this because I have all of that on the default and it's not that important, but this might be important. You can put your toggle HUD on something you can quickly access because it might get distracting sometimes and you just quickly want to toggle it on or off, or if you are making it like a video and you want to make a montage of your loot stack, you can quickly put out your HUD. So let's go to input. Let's go to the mouse sensitivity. Well, the mouse sensitivity itself, it's really just depending on you. Some people prefer very high sensitivity, some people prefer very low sensitivity. My mouse is automatically very high sensitivity, so I put it a little bit low, but you might want to put it very high if you don't have a lot of sensitivity on your mouse. But the other ones you need to just put completely all the way up, because otherwise it's just too slow. In gameplay are some important settings. One of those settings is reduce hold to interact. You need to have this on. This is extremely important. This makes it so when, for example, you are loading a cannon, you only have to press the interact button once and then it will completely load. You can do something else in the meantime, you can move around, you don't have to hold it, you can just press it once. This is also very helpful when reviving a teammate or literally doing anything else which makes you interact with something. With this on you can also do some cannon tricks, but I will show you that in another video, not this one. Reduce hold to use item. I don't really have used this before, but from what I heard, this is really bad and you shouldn't put this on. Disable ship sitting interaction and disable ship trinket interactions. I put this on because sometimes when I had it off and I would be in hourglass, I would accidentally interact with one of the sitting or trinket locations, and that would just be very annoying. At the MISC, I would just put everything off if I were you, but I would put on auto vote on void proposal. This just means that when you propose a voyage, you don't have to vote on it yourself anymore, you immediately vote, but other than that I wouldn't put anything on. So for the HUD, let's see. I think these are just default. I don't think you should change anything about this. I do think, however, you should put the banners off right here, because it is only distracting in my opinion, and you don't need to know which island you are or which outpost you are if you can just look at the map. If you want to, you can like hide ship names or gamer tags if you want, but I don't really see why. This also, I don't really see why you would put this off, but I mean you could if you really want to. I mean you can put this off if this really annoys you. I would however turn these off. I don't know why I have it on. And it's just annoying when you're battling and you just keep getting like the pop-ups, the messages of you getting milestones. So I'll just put it off. So the video settings are really important, but you need to put it on what your computer can handle. But I will show you what I have and why I have it. So Direct 3D version. My computer couldn't handle Direct 3D version 12. It kept crashing, so I just put it on 11 and that worked fine for me. I don't really see any difference, but if you have a good PC, why not put it on 12? So full screen resolution, I put it on 900p. You can put it on 1080p, but I just prefer 900p. I don't really see a difference and it just makes my FPS higher. VSync you need to of course have off, because with VSync it will just cap your FPS at like 60 as default and you don't want that. I like playing with some brightness so I can see better in the dark, but this is of course not that useful when you are in mist, but I just like to have this a little bit up. But you need to just experiment with both of these, which values you prefer. The frame rate lock I have on 144 FPS because there is a bug in Sea of Thieves when you go above 144 FPS, it just like has some issues, and I just put it on 144. I don't really need any higher. I like to have my performance counters on. So buffering I have on double. You can put this on triple or quadruple. This just makes it so your FPS is more consistent, but your input might be a little bit behind. And auto skip intro animatic, I would put this on. I don't know why you would want to see the intro animation when you start up the game every time. Graphic settings, so these are where it gets interesting. Field of view needs to be at 90. I don't know, I don't see a reason why you would put it any way lower than 90. The other settings, most PvPers put it all on cursed except for model detail. They put model detail at rare because that makes some difference with the water and you can see better with that. Yeah, I personally like to put shadow detail on rare because otherwise it gets like flickery, the shadow gets a little bit flickery and I don't like that. And I just like to put some of it a little bit higher because I just like how the water looks, I just like how everything looks. And yeah, I don't really need like a super high FPS, so I just put it at this. I do leave these ones at curse because I don't really care about it. For the visibility, I would definitely disable blur and disable screen shake. this is just not helpful at all when you're PvPing, and it will only get in your way. Reds are optional, you can choose yourself if you want this on or off, but I mean, they are red, so why not have them? So color blindness filter mode, you can put this on green red if you want to, and put it like higher or lower. You can experiment this with yourself because that makes things a little bit more bright and a little bit more vibrant. I have tried this for a while, I didn't like it, so I just put it off, but you need to experiment with this for yourself. I do have high contrast X marks the spot, that just makes so on the maps with X mark the spot, you see white crosses instead of red crosses. I just prefer that. I wouldn't do that on kill markers, because if you do that you can't really tell the difference between hitting someone and killing someone. And with high contrast kill markers off, you see like a red marker when you killed someone. So I just prefer this. So audio settings, you need to put your master volume on whatever you want. But the music volume, most people like to put this all the way off for when they are in PvP fights. But I mean, I like the music that plays when Hourglass is playing, so I just have it a little bit on, just for the fun of it. But most people have this off. Shanty volume, if you get annoyed of your teammates keep playing those shanties, just put them off. SFX, I don't know why this is on 80, it needs to be on 100. You really need to hear all those SFX sounds. Enable spatial sound, I couldn't tell a difference between it being on or off. It should make it so you hear the sound more surrounding, but I didn't really hear it, so I just have it on off. But you can experiment it with yourself. Crew chat volume, I just have it all the way up, and proximity chat also. So this one, I really like this. So basically this is the sound you hear when the steering wheel is in dead center, the little clicking noise it makes. I really like just to know when it is in the center, but you can turn this off if you want to. And this, you can put this on and off, extend audio range of sea rocks and sailing. When there are rocks in the sea, they make a different type of sound. It is very subtle, but you can hear it, and if you have this on, you can like hear rocks coming. If you crash into rocks a lot, you can just put it on. So in language, I like to put on speech to text override. That just means that other people who speak, what they are saying gets put in the chat. So if you can't hear what someone is saying from an enemy boat, it will still go in the chat. So you might be able to hear what their plans are. Other than that, I just all put this on default, so I really haven't touched this at all. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know if you disagreed on something I said. Please like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.